Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about introduction to qualitative and quantitative data. So before going to qualitative and quantitative data, first I would like to tell you about data. What is data? Data are the facts and figures collected, summarized, analyzed and interpreted. See, here are four important keywords in the definition of data. These are collected, summarized, analyzed, and interpreted. Okay, I will tell you the meaning of all these four words with the help of one example. So, before that, this is one of the example of data. Now, as I told you, I will tell you each word with the help of one example. So, suppose we have student attendance data sheet. Okay, so the first word was collection. Table 2.1 here represents collection of attendance sheet for a week. Okay, here we have only 5 students and we have collected the data on attendance of these 5 students for 5 days. The next word was summarize. So in the next table, in table 2.2, we summarize the attendance for 5 days in terms of numbers. So for example, Archana was presented in 4 days out of 5. So we reported 4 in front of Archana. Similarly for Ashish, it is 5 and so on. The next word was analyze. So the data collected here was analyzed in table 2.3 in terms of percentage. So from the basic count, we calculated the percentage attendance of each student. Okay, so this is what we mean by analyze. Then in table 2.4, we try to tell you about the interpretation of our analysis. So suppose if we want to make a criteria for eligibility into next week class, and we said that if a person is having a attendance of 50% and above, only then a person can take a class of next week. So on the basis of this definition, we can interpret our data, our percentages, our analysis like that in table 2.4. All 4 students are eligible except the fifth one, which is having a attendance of 20%. So this is what is the basic definition of data. For you, I repeat this definition. Data are the facts and figures collected, summarized, analyzed and interpreted. Okay, so now we will discuss about qualitative and quantitative data. Qualitative data deals with characteristics and descriptors that cannot be easily measured but can be observed subjectively. For example, smell, taste, attractiveness, color. We cannot measure them directly, but we can get some idea of it. In other words, if the characteristic is classified according to a group, class, or category, it is called qualitative data. For example, blood group having A, B, AB, and O categories. Status of disease, severe, moderate, or mild. Socioeconomic status, it could be rich, middle class, or poor class. Grades in examination could be excellent, good, average, poor, and very poor. Sex, having 2 categories, male and female, and so on. Next is quantitative data. Quantitative data is the characteristic if the characteristic is measurable in units of measurement carrying a numerical value, it is called a quantitative data. There are 2 types of quantitative variables. These are discrete and continuous. Discrete variables have distinct numerical values. Families classified according to size. For example, 1 member, 2 members. So it is discrete in nature. We cannot have 1.5 family members. We have either 1 or 2. Similarly, number of children. Either we have no child or we have one child, two children, and so on. There is no possibility between 0 and 1 and 1 and 2. Okay. So the basic difference between quantitative and qualitative data is quantitative data can be obtained from survey questionnaires while qualitative data can be obtained from focus group discussions. Quantitative data are based upon tests while qualitative data are unstructured interviews. Quantitative data comes from a deductive approach while qualitative data comes from inductive approach. Quantitative data is objective, qualitative data is subjective. In quantitative data, we have to obtain a statistical sample, or in other words we can say probability sample. In qualitative data we have a theoretical sample, we can go with convenience sampling. Thank you for watching this video. For more detail about this topic, please join my online lecture on MS Teams. Thank you so much.